I'm glad that Notre Dame didn't make it into the college football playoffs. One, I'm tired of pretending like this is the '80s and that Notre Dame football is some elite, illustrious program. This program, to me, has skirted by on name recognition alone for years. The college football playoffs are locked and loaded. All 12 teams have been formally announced, with one glaring omission that personally I'm happy about. Notre Dame was left out of the college football playoffs, and in response to that, they said they do not want to play any bowl game outside of the CFP. They issued a statement saying, as a team, we decided to withdraw our name from consideration for a bowl game following the 2025 season. We appreciate all the support from our families and fans, and we're hoping to bring the 12th national title to South Bend in 2026. Samaria, you are the football expert, so I defer to you in this subject matter. How did you feel about Notre Dame's snub and their statement?
I can see why people were upset about it. However, the bigger picture is that Notre Dame has got to get in a conference. I know that they like being independent, and that's great, but
Very
unfortunately, your strength of
polyamorous.
schedule, yes,
Very
like your
poly.
strength of schedule was not good enough. And I think that y'all need to really look into that moving forward. We know that they had a loss or two losses this season to Miami and then to Texas A&M. Both of those teams made it. I'm just not, I don't know. I don't know if they thought that they should have jumped in and then Alabama should have came out. I'm not really sure, but at the end of the day, they got to get in a conference, or they're going to have to make their schedule so strong that nobody is denying them entry into the college football playoffs. I do want to get into people deciding not to do bowl games. We can get into that later on in the show.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm glad that Notre Dame didn't make it into the college football playoffs. One, I'm tired of pretending like this is the '80s and that Notre Dame football is some elite, illustrious program. I'm not somebody who harps on the past. This program, to me, has skirted by on name recognition alone for years. Let me tell you about their schedule for 2026, because in their statement they issued, they said they want to make the CFP next year. So next year's schedule looks like this. One, they only play 3 road games, but they play Wisconsin, Rice, Michigan State, Purdue, UNC, Navy, Miami, Boston College, SMU, Syracuse, Stanford, and USC. Okay, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to get it done. Especially because I anticipate them having 2, maybe even 3 losses next season as well. I do not like Notre Dame. Like, they are how I feel about Duke basketball has been replaced with how I feel about Notre Dame football. I don't like the culture. I don't like their uniforms. I don't like the fact that I found out that their coach has a fake hairline that is not his, given by God. I found former pictures. It was not that good in college, and so that means he had to remix. Now, granted, I do believe in a man's right to choose a different aesthetic for himself, and next year I may come back to the Fumble with a new hairline, so I don't want y'all judging me, but until I do that, I'm criticizing him.
His is just a lot more obvious. Like, you really can't expect us to think that that was the hairline that you were given.
I thought it
It's
was.
too dark. It's too straight. No, it's
I
not.
thought it was.
And
It's a great job.
it goes, it fades out. It
Well, it's a
just
taper.
doesn't.
It just, shout out to him though.
No,
You
no,
know
no.
what
I'm
saying?
talking about the darkness
Oh,
fade. So it starts very dark and then it fades out into like his head. Like, it just, I never thought it was.
yeah. I thought he was a threat
giving
to the
like
community. I thought he was a danger to the community
Brown.
because Jaylen Brown's hairline is real. Don't do that. But I thought he was a danger to the community. I saw so many women fawning over him, and come to find out, he's GMO. Anyway, back to Notre Dame football. Glad to see them on the outside of the college football playoffs, and glad they're not going to be a part of any bowl game. I'm tired of their fake elitism. Please, let's go to everybody else who made the college football playoffs.
Yes. Okay. So Indiana is the number 1 overall seed. I did not expect Indiana to come out and be as good as they are this year. I'm like, where did y'all come from? That's the craziest thing to me. They beat Ohio State. I'm just shook it. I'm shook.
Shout out to Mark Cuban, yo. It's the Mark Cuban effect, right? Sold the Dallas Mavericks, watched them trade away Luka Doncic. But Mark Cuban is an Indiana University alumni and put a lot of money into that program, from what I hear, this past year. And so we are now seeing the effects of having a billionaire as a part of your alumni base. So
Yes.
shout out.
And at number 2, we have Ohio State, who already showed everybody What happens when you put money in NIL? What happens when you can buy a team? Essentially, you can win national championships. And I don't know if Ohio State didn't think that anybody else was going to follow that blueprint, but they did. So
Yeah.
Ohio State is at number 2, Georgia's at number 3, and then Texas Tech is at number 4. All of them have buys. That SEC championship game, Georgia looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia looks really good. Yeah, they do. But I think that usually in these types of games, Alabama gives them a run for their money, a little bit more than what we saw. They almost were shut out.
This ain't the Alabama team of 10 years ago though. So I don't.
No, you're right. Okay, people were upset. We just talked about that Alabama was able to get in. But let's keep going.
3 losses. We got to address that real quick. We got to address that. Never before has there been a team in the college football playoffs with 3 losses. Alabama is skating by as well on name and brand recognition, and that's just what it is. They should not be in the college football playoffs with 3 losses. I don't care what conference you're in. To me, the SEC. Are you SEC or Big Ten? I know you went to Auburn, so I know by nature you want to say SEC. But if you review both conferences top to bottom, which is the stronger conference in your opinion?
I'm gonna go SEC. I'm biased.
Okay.
And Alabama apparently had one of the stronger strength of schedules.
Okay.
So I mean, do you feel like it's because last year they were out?
Yeah, no. I just think that when you have the number 1 team in the country being Indiana, right? I think everything is a matter of branding and marketing, and you want certain names a part of certain things, right? You leave out Notre Dame, you got to have one program that has a rabid fan base. I think Alabama and Notre Dame, in my estimation, again, I did not go to a college in the SEC, so correct me if I'm wrong, but Notre Dame and Alabama are the 2 programs that travel the best in terms of their fan base, and their brand and name cachet just carries a lot of weight.
Okay, so at number 5 is Oregon. 6 is Ole Miss. So they have to play Tulane. That is going to be very interesting because both of those head coaches have gotten promotions or gotten other jobs. I'm not sure. I think I saw somewhere that Sumrall is going to be able to coach for Tulane, but we know that Ole Miss will not be coaching for Ole Miss. Yeah. I'm sorry, that Lane Kiffin, will not be coaching for Ole Miss. Ole Miss will be coaching for Ole Miss because we don't know who the interim is.
That's so stupid. It's so stupid. I can't believe they're doing that. It's just not smart. But whatever.
Well, the question is, if Ole Miss gets to the semifinals and they do some award ceremony or they have some big thing, does Lane Kiffin get any acknowledgement in that? If they get to the national championship, does Lane Kiffin get any acknowledgement in the fact that he led this team all the way to at least the postseason?
At the very least, he'll get credit for the construction of the roster. At the least, you can't erase what we were. They can't erase what we were. You don't know where that's from? Above the rim.
No.
Flip. Go off. Continue.
But anyways, so if Tulane beats Ole Miss, like that's huge, Anyways, okay, so then you have A&M at 7. They take on Miami. Miami jumped in a little bit. I think that's going to be a good game. I think that they have a very dynamic quarterback in Marcel Reed. Texas A&M does. Mm-hmm. They really came out of nowhere this year, just like in Indiana. Nobody was thinking that A&M was going to go undefeated.
Nah, A&M is always tough. Indiana is an afterthought. Like Indiana,
but not in the SEC. Like I think that like we thought they would be decent, like they've always been, but not elite.
Well, we didn't think Indiana was going to be decent. I don't want to make the comparison because I always have belief that A&M has a shot every year. They in Texas, they got them big country white boys in the trenches. I always give them a shot.
But I thought Texas would have been better than A&M. That was my thought.
Gotcha.
So that'll be a good game. And then obviously the marquee matchup is Alabama versus Oklahoma, 8 versus 9. They've already played and Oklahoma beat them.
I got OU.
So you said, you're going OU. Okay.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that Oklahoma's in the SEC. That's so bad.
It's a new world. Okay. And then what's our last matchup? Who we got?
That's it.
No, JMU.
Oh, sorry.
Don't
Is that really a matchup?
Don't disrespect. That's crazy,
I'm sorry. Okay, you have James Madison versus Oregon. So this is the 5 seed versus the 12.
I think that's incredible.
Madison also has a new head coach in Billy Napier who came from Florida. So it's just interesting because it's like, who is coaching? Who is doing the coaching? And is Billy Napier coming in and coaching, or is it going to be people from the old staff That's coaching. If Billy Napier comes in and somehow upsets Oregon, does he get the credit for this? Or is it their previous head coach? Do you see
That's
what I'm saying? How
crazy.
it's like
That's
so
crazy to
nuanced.
come
It's
in and
just
lead a
weird.
program to hop in the last day. That's
Right. When
wild.
you was at
That's wild as
Florida,
hell.
that is crazy, Rodney. You were at
Yeah,
Florida.
that's
Y'all were
like
horrible. You really kind of got, it wasn't really a promotion, right? Like
not at all.
you got fired and then you're at James Madison, which is not a promotion. And they are in the college football playoffs. So you just inherited a college football playoff team. Okay, let's get into the bowl games. I just wanted to just say this. I feel like we just got to do away with them because teams aren't playing in them. Teams don't feel like it's worth whatever the investment is to send these kids down here for a week. You know what I mean? Like I thought,
Yeah.
like when I was in college, going to a bowl game was all about the experience. It was like, oh, okay, like you can go to Florida or you can go out to Texas or whatever. You're there for a whole week. You have all these experiences. Kids don't want the experiences anymore. They want to play for a national championship. And it's going to be interesting to see these big title sponsors start to pull out because the teams aren't wanting to play. If the teams say, hey, we're going to play, your star players aren't playing. What is the investment for the title sponsor to keep putting up millions of dollars for what?
Well, the fan base is the fan base, and people are, alumni bases are going to watch their team play in any bowl game. So it doesn't matter if you have a school that gets replaced and one opts out. People love football, so really it doesn't even matter who's on the field. People want to see two teams clashing. I will say, though, that some years ago, a lot of people were complaining that players were opting out of playing in bowl games that didn't really hold any weight. And now to see entire programs do that, I no longer ever want to hear people being mad at players preparing for the NFL draft and protecting their body, making sure they avoid injury, in bowl games by opting out. I don't want to hear that anymore. I did see a report that a player on Ohio State's team was opting out of playing in the bowl game, but I think that might have just been like, people just love making up stuff on the internet, so it might have been false. But yeah, I don't want to hear any more complaints about the players doing what's best for themselves. So
yeah, because like I know I saw recently, only because Auburn's name was thrown in there, but like the Birmingham Bowl historically is not a huge bowl. I think Georgia Southern has accepted to play in the bowl, but there's been like 6 or 7 teams that are like, no, we don't want to play. And Auburn, I don't even think was bowl eligible. Like they didn't have 6 wins. I think they were 5. They had 5 wins. And they still said, we don't even want to go up the road 2.5 hours to Birmingham to play in the Birmingham Bowl against Georgia Southern.
Well, why would Auburn play Georgia Southern though? Like that's not,
I get that, but I'm just saying the point is that even you weren't really bowl eligible. So you could have said, oh yeah, like we were on the outside looking in. Yeah, we'll go up here and play one more game.
I wouldn't do that one either. But salute, shout out. I'm not playing Georgia Southern.
I'm just making a point that it's getting pointless.
Yeah, it's levels to this though.
Like especially your smaller bowls, like your Birmingham bowls, like some of the little small bowls. Like
I hear you. I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm picking up what you're putting down. If I'm Auburn, as Auburn. You went to Auburn. I'm not playing Georgia Southern. That's stupid. Anyway, y'all let us know your thoughts on Notre Dame opting out of all bowl games, and let us know also how you feel about the college football playoff seeding, as well as what else, Samaria. What else we want to hear from people about?
Do you feel like bowl games should just slowly go away? You let us know in the comments below.
Definitely. Also, make sure you tap into our newsletter as well. Link is in the bio, keeping you abreast of all things going on in the world of sports.